Hello and welcome to my channel History and Guys. And today I want to give you another update on my hobby activities. And since we've talked about that last time, there has been quite a bit of stuff happening here, so let's get into it. First of all, there is some new painting stuff. And I think I mentioned it before. The project for this next 6 months will be two participations in community challenges. One of it is the online painting challenge, and the other one is the army master by Stronghold Terrain. So for the first project, I plan to paint up a bold action army, and I picked the German army as my first army and to try it out a little bit. And I've managed to finish not only a squad of 12 grenadiers, but also a machine gun team over the last 6 weeks approximately. So here they are. The second army I want to continue and maybe even finish is my saga Age of Hannibal Warband from Carthage. And after the elephants that I showed already on the channel last year, I now finished up two, or rather three units of warriors and Huskark. So the first bunch is a bunch of javelin slingers like I already showed off on my Instagram. And this is a bunch of Gaetulians. I think I mentioned them actually in my last video as well already as a work in progress. But now they're finished and they're ready for the tabletop and I'm quite happy with them. And as I mentioned before, with all my Carthaginians, I did a very rough basing when I prepped them for painting, and I will redo them or rework them a little bit once I'm done with the whole army, because I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with them in specific turns. I make some adjustments already with my elephants, where I put some tufts on and add some other little effects, but I'm not sure I'm finished with it yet. So bear with me in that regard. And the second group are two units of Haskak. They are from the Victrix Warriors of Carthage box, as are the other guys. And they are here in in as veterans of the army. They call them veterans of Hannibal, so they are running around in plundered armor from the Romans, mostly chainmail, or mail shirts, as we might call them, and with big shields, with big scutums. And I think they look really lovely actually. I really enjoy painting them. They offer a lot of detail without being too overloaded and very crisp details as well, so not a lot of guessing and very pleasant to paint really. Yeah, then that's it from the painting table for now. Projects for the next month will be probably, well, more Carthaginians. I suspect I will try to paint up some warriors, which will be like more traditional hoplites from the Warriors of Carthage box. And the other object will be some kind of command stand. And honestly, the major question here will be how much time I have to devote to it, because I have some very great plans, uh, but I'm not sure I will be able to put them into reality actually within a month, especially given that I want to finish the Carthaginians as well in that month. But we will see, and if you follow me on Instagram, you might see some stuff popping up in April there before it's actually finished. Let's talk about gaming next. And I had actually two games this month. The first one was my first classic Battletech game for probably 20 years or something like that. And we played Goonhammer scenario, so from the Goonhammer website, with two objective points, and each of us had two mechs. It was a pretty good game. I think we would probably fared better if we had a couple of more units, because that would have allowed a better and more flexible objective play. But overall, it was great to be back in the saddle, so to speak, after such a long time, and feels good when you are still remembering most of the rules. I mean, obviously they are very similar to Battletech Override and other forms of Battletech that I've played over the last year. But it's still good and very good to reminiscence also the old games that I used to play with my previous uh, gaming mates. And I think I won the game actually in the end. I will show you a couple of photos. I didn't take a lot of them, so bear with me. And well, that was Battletech, and I hope we will do more of Battletech this year, really, because it's always fun to play, and like just like the Stumpy robots and the whole lore that's behind it. And I mean, if you haven't noticed yet, it's the 40-year anniversary of Battletech, so there's really a reason to celebrate. The other game I played happened actually yesterday on the club evening, and I got a first introductory game into bolt action. My gaming partner here was a guy called Jan, and he gave me a very good introduction into the game, showed me a lot of elements of it without making it too complicated, and giving me a very lopsided scenario in my favor. So I basically just had to defend with the Germans that he provided to me against his Russians, or rather Soviets. And but it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I already understood a lot of the nuances that come with the rules, and I really like what I saw. So it's definitely not gonna be the last game of ball action that I've been playing, and kind of reinforces my idea of just building an army and playing it. And here as well, I will show you a couple of pictures from the match yesterday. Some of them are from me, some of them are from Jan. Was a very good game. Really enjoyed it. And I guess there's no hobby update without talking about the new purchases. Well, unless you didn't manage to purchase anything, but I think with most hobbyists that happens rather rarely. And thankfully, I'm not in a situation where I have to keep all the things together to make it into the next month. So what did I get? Well, first of all, I didn't really intend to buy it originally, but I saw it on Kleinanzeigen, which is basically the German page for classified ads. Was used to be owned by eBay, but they split up again. And there was a guy who was advertising a Rubicon Tiger, this one, and more importantly, this box, the Gentleman's War. And originally, I wasn't sure whether I was going to get the Gentleman's War box or the German Grenadiers box that I got last month. So when I saw the prices that he offered, I thought like, this looks already quite nice. But I will ask him what kind of offer he will put up if I tell him I will take both of it, because it was separated eggs. And he made a very nice price. I think I paid like 86 euros, including shipping, which is fantastic, really. And given that the Gentleman's War box has a full rule set already in there, which is normally like, I think 30, 40 euros, I can't recall. Two armored cars, which I really like a lot, so I will really enjoy building and painting them, and some additional infantry that will probably uh, satisfy all my needs for infantry together with the Grenadiers box. I think that was a really good purchase. And the Tiger, I mean, who's not going to have a German army at some point with a Tiger? And yesterday, when I was at the club and playing with my clubmate, he told me, "Well, I have something for you as well if you want to buy it," and that is actually this box. So, Tiger Ausführung, Panther Ausführung A. So, I can't recall. I think this is actually the later version, if I recall correctly, which is rather counterintuitive with the naming convention when it comes to the Panther. So I've got both big cacks now. I guess I have to build and paint them at some point. But I think that's probably something more towards the summer. Um, yeah, so quite a big haul, and I don't think I should buy any more bolt action in the near future. Well, except for some minor things like I might want to have for the command strength. But I will keep you updated on that one, as I mentioned before. And finally, let's talk about all other hobby related stuff. So, even though I was fairly productive over the last 4 to 6 weeks, I still had some real life stuff happening as well where I was not able to do as much as I might have wanted to do. At least for the hobby, I mean, I can't say I was forced to do other things because I enjoyed what we were doing. And for once, we were going to the Old Pinakothek in München, which is a gallery full of old paintings by gentlemen like Rembrandt and Bruegel and Dürer and some other stuff, really. Very absolutely fantastic art museum. We didn't manage to get through all of it because I think after like 3 or 4 hours of looking at paintings in a rather concentrated way, you are getting tired and you're just full with impressions already. So we stopped there, and but it was really interesting because it gave me some inspiration again on how I could approach certain projects. For example, there was a painting that was showing a winter landscape, I think by one of the Dutch painters, and it was very almost monochromatic, not quite. It was like I think a couple of bluish tones, like very cold tones, white and black. And I thought I've seen some army projects in the past posting on websites and social media that were done in a similar way, and I was reminded to them. I thought like, well, this is something you might want to do, maybe not just as a painting project for as an army, but also maybe as a photo setup for photographing miniatures. And you might have noticed already, I'm trying to make some arrangements with the miniatures because I enjoy making them look a little bit more interesting by using camera effects, like a lot of other people do on social media, really. And obviously, for that, you need to have some accessories as well, like backgrounds, like terrain, and so on. So that's definitely something to look at. And looking forward, I'm pretty much in the same conflict that in the next couple of weeks, because I will be first traveling for work to Brussels, and then I will be traveling and visit my family in northern Germany. But if you're a smart hobbyist, you're always able to squeeze in a little bit of hobby time as well. And in my case, this will be twofold. First of all, I will be hopefully able to visit the Belgian Army Museum or Armed Forces Museum, I believe it is actually in Brussels. And that's planned for next Sunday. I will take my camera with me and hopefully make a lot of interesting video and photo captures and present them on the channel. And the second trip I intend to do is I will visit the Viking Museum in Haithabu, which is an old Viking settlement. I think later on it was called Hegeby by the Danish. And it's a classic museum, first of all, with a lot of archaeological finds, including some ships. And then they have an outdoor museum as well, where they have some um, houses built in the Viking era style, and where they show how Vikings or people in the Viking Age used to live. And that's very interesting. And on top of all of it, they have a medieval market fair going on there as well during the Easter holidays. So that's definitely a reason to go there. And I hope I can take a lot of material from there as well. So that's definitely coming up in the next couple of weeks and months. Once I get around sorting out all the material and the videos and hoping that everything works out, of course, I will present you two more visits to the museum here. And I think they are both very interesting, both very different. So I hope you stay tuned for that. And as for everything else, as I mentioned before, it's more of the same. So I hope you enjoyed this hobby update and stay tuned for the next updates. Sometime, I think middle of April probably will be the next video due to circumstances mentioned before. And if you want to give any feedback, if you like the slightly changed format of the hobby update, you notice I'm still experimenting quite a bit with it. Then please give me a feedback and leave me a like and a subscription maybe as well. See you next time and have a good Easter holiday.